Now I gotta check what you gotta, what you got, what you gotta, what you got. You know, this is what's going on. I just went through hell in my mind. In my mind. I mean, you have no idea what's going on. I'm still having a swollen ankle. You can see it's getting blue down there. This is just the proof to all you doubters. What? Right. And now there is a difference. Cameras can only record reality to a certain degree, which makes all of this, what you're seeing, a distortion of the truth. And I don't know. Just feel like there's pressure building up. Normally at this stage I would let go and, go to the park and play frisbee. Right? There ain't no sensei. For me, at the moment, yesterday I had a visitor, the first one in weeks, that brought me food such as, try to not show you the brand, it's like chocolate spread, right? It's like jam, hummus, and then, it's just edamame. It's just protein. Also got a kiwi. You see, this is what happens when you stay at home, you ain't got no TV, you drink a coffee and then you just let go. I mean, I just went through hell in my mind. It's not my hell. Is it my mind? Well, that's a good question. What is spirituality? Well, spirituality is whatever you make out of it. I mean, for some people, spirituality is sitting around meditating. And for me, spirituality is figuring out flow states and explaining it to other people. I'm one of the frontiers of the modern age of spirituality who says, fuck all the rules. I don't care, right? I don't care what the rules are. Can you smoke cannabis? Yes, you can. Can you smoke tobacco? Yes, you can. Can you eat meat? Yes, you can. Can you be weak? Certainly not. Because taking the time to heal requires a lot of strength in this kind of world. Because we're dealing with people that just want to suck you dry. I mean, that's what you have to understand. Netflix doesn't care that you have to work extra hard so you can afford paying a monthly subscription to their service. They don't care that the service that they need to run in order to give people the content, that other people produce is creating a lot of, toxic material, uses up a lot of energy. They don't care. As long as they can make a living out of it, they will continue to do this. And I think that's just what we have to understand, that, you feed corporations like Netflix, then you feed, the destruction of Mother Earth, of nature, even of human nature. Because you're one of the people that contributes to platforms like, I don't want to just pick on Netflix, it's just anything. Even illegal streaming services. Everyone who uses all kinds of media, and that includes even platforms like YouTube. Of course, while it exists, let's use it for something useful. But the truth is, and the news is, that you cannot get what you want from watching me living a life that you don't have. What you can get is an idea of how your life may look like, but you will never have my life. My life will never be yours, but your life could change for the better. Just by looking at, okay, who's this guy? Okay, his name is Christopher. This is what it looks like if you're standing in his apartment and you look outside. This is how his wall looks like. I don't know, he did this. Now you could try to imitate this. But what's much better? If you just do something yourself. I did this with henna. That's just an idea for you. And you can piggyback on my idea, or you can just have your own ideas. You can try to copy the way I make content, or you just figure out your own way to make content. Like, look at this. 2 spiders, At one point, one may eat the other. Maybe it's mother and son. Maybe it's husband and wife. Maybe it's 2 males that just, wait for the next fight. I cannot at the moment. It's just that moment in Avatar, the movie with the blue people, where, I rearranged my plants. You see, I cleaned my entire apartment. May not look clean to you. I put my microphone somewhere else. The brand is Zoom, Nefertiti. Nefertiti is still watching out. So, this is how, as clean as I like it, right? I just wiped everything, all the surfaces, made sure that stuff is clean. Okay, I want to make tea. Quick tea session. This is chickpeas that I soaked for, let's say, 12 hours. I soaked them for 12 hours. Then I drained the water. The water is in the fridge. I'm going to use it for soup. Carrot soup. Or maybe potato soup. And then I put them in the oven for probably 40 minutes at 180 degrees, occasionally stirring it. And then I mixed it with cayenne pepper, salt, and coconut fat. Right, coconut fat. They say that fat is solid at room temperature. And then people say, yeah, but if you eat fat, it's gonna clog your veins. But if fat remains fluid at room temperature and it's 36 degrees in your body, sure, if you eat too much fat, it's still gonna, it's just gonna clog up everything. So you shouldn't eat too much fat. You know, Supersize Me has shown that a too fatty diet can actually, you know, destroy your liver. Which is why I'm reducing my fat. I have times now where I have barely any fat at home. Because if I have, you know, if fat keeps coming in, which is why, you know, chocolate spread is a lot of fat, right? So we have to change things. I mean, things are going in a direction, and I don't know, I just wanted to make some push-ups, but now I just record this and I just start walking around again because standing just drove me insane. And I literally just went through hell in my mind. I went through hell in my mind. Could you please elaborate on that, the audience says. I just had the coffee and I actually put, first I mixed it with this barista vegan milk thing. This is going to be green tea. I do not make green tea like others. I put it inside, I let it sit for long hours at times. You know, my hands are quite cold, which means I should actually do something. Which is why I'm probably gonna do a quick session of I don't know what. You know, I just need to do something with this energy. I actually feel like I could go for a walk later. And now the voice says, I think you should go for a walk later. I think someone needs me. Yeah, possibly, but I'm still afraid. I mean, fear is always an issue. Always. And it will remain always an issue. Always. Okay? Can you tell me how to make my own? No! Just look it up, man. I mean, you want a recipe for vegan chocolate spread, look it up. Or, okay. You know, I'm so willing to give. I love giving. I'm just gonna make some oolong tea. Different than you think I should do it. I think I'm driving my neighbors insane because I'm just going nuts. I mean, I'm not an easy to be around with neighbor, but actually I wouldn't know. Because the truth is, what could actually be the case that people appreciate someone who's causing a bit of trouble. Because if everybody's super nice and calm all the time, oh, look at this. Water is boiling, right? It's like, I had so much pain in my ankle, and it's actually getting better. I'm actually also considering wearing shoes. I'm still getting there, right? I'm still making a choice. Okay, this does not have to boil. Okay, I'm gonna bring it to a boil once. I'm just gonna lay this down here. I'm gonna take a spoon. So much energy, I'm telling you. It's building up, it's building up, it's building up. Okay, Nutella. Okay. You could buy some ceremonial cacao if you want to make it. Okay, I'm putting 1 teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. Okay, 3 teaspoons. Okay. I don't know. What does it mean to go through hell? Okay. Yeah. You know. Okay. And then I'm going to take it off. I just bring it to a boil, that's enough. And then later I can put it back on the... You know, I don't sometimes know what I'm doing. I'm just saying. I mean, you should have figured that out by now. Okay, I just went through hell in my mind. Could you please elaborate on that? Okay. Do you know how I do things? Do you know how I do things? I have intense experiences. I really have to defecate, I'm just saying. Do you know how to have intense experience? I have intense experiences. I just cracked my ankle. I mean, I did not crack my ankle, but something happened with my ankle. And I explained it already. It's just like I played frisbee, bam, I got an injury. I see this injury as too much stuff was piling up, because what happens once you are opened? Your energy starts to flow. So this means you will start to become empty. You become empty. Okay, once you're empty, what are you gonna do then? Are you just gonna sit at home and be empty and then meditate yourself, just to the next phase of humanity? Or are you going to go out into the world and do something? Because now you could get to the phase where you realize, okay, I'm empty now I feel good. But what I learned is that without making new experiences, I start feeling hollow. And then I sit at home like Grandmaster Wolf and I get fat and comfortable. And then I, give stupid interviews and try to be friends with people that interview me and make like secret hints, that you want to visit each other, and then you can be like friends. Instead of just living your life, making new experiences and showing the world how a strong man looks like. You just become a symbol of society and comfort zone and sofas and couches and doing ridiculous things with, a balloon exploding in another balloon, which makes no sense and which I'm 100% certain of is just a magic trick. That's just my perspective. You see, this is what happens when you experience life in I'm different. I could never do what Grandmaster Wolf does. If I would spend time with Grandmaster Wolf, I would sort that guy out. I'm just saying. He wouldn't stand a chance. I'm just saying, I'm not like other people. I'm an active, and I keep using the word avatar, because what does the word avatar imply? It implies that I have a body. It implies that, I can rile up other people. I can make people angry. In my presence, people start to do things. People, they just like keep sitting around and they don't know what to do, and suddenly I come around the corner and it's like, what? My spirit is resting inside my body, my physical form, or what you perceive, which may even be different from person to person, right? Is an expression of what is inside of me. And I'm a mirror. Right? I'm also a mirror. I'm trying to mirror the world something. I'm going mad. What does that mean? I'm letting go. I'm letting go of all concepts that I have. Right? I'm the Rubik's Cube and the tiles are moving. Right? I already learned how to do that. So now every time I go outside and I play life with others, I have to go back, pick up my pieces and put myself back together, but suddenly I'm different again. Because now I have a new experience. I have the experience of having an incredible amount of pain and not crying, not even moping about it. Just like taking my time, picking myself up, even defending myself against other people that were there with me and that were trying to, tickle me into some kind of reaction, like piss me off or something. I was just like, leave me alone, man. If you have too much energy, go and carry, giant tree trunks from left to right? If you have, just do something else. You don't have to fight with others. You don't have to do anything. Now I'm starting to calm down a little. So I'm investing myself. You see, I'm standing at home and I feel like I'm going nuts. I'm going nuts because maybe some people can do this. They can sit here and they can meditate and then they can be in heaven. I could do that, which is a lie. I could never do that. Because I choose not to. I've tried. But as soon as I sit here, I have so many ideas and I just like life too much. I mean, I like doing things too much. I like being creative. I like changing things. I like changing things in my apartment, right? I mean, this was standing somewhere else. It was standing there, and this was standing there, and this was on the right side, and this was on the left side, and this was there, and this was there. And this was a bit like this. And I was sitting a lot there, and I was sleeping here, and then I started hating it. And I thought, if I want to watch movies without moving the screen, right? I mean, watching movies from here is really stupid. So I put my bed here, because who cares? Right? And then, I just change things constantly. I had a lot of stuff standing here, if you remember. I have another storage space outside of my apartment. And I just put stuff there because I said, I don't need it. Now I have a lot of movies to watch. Okay, when am I gonna watch which? And then sometimes if I get bored of being vegan, I just eat meat once. And then I realize, wow, meat has a really heavy energy. But if you're really, really depressed, let's say you say, I'm vegan now, and you get depressed, and suddenly you get this heavy craving for meat. I'm telling you from my own experience, it helped me to boost through it. Sometimes it helps me to booze through it, so I drink a beer sometimes. Not always, but sometimes, I really want to do crochet. I'm working on another hat. I love the colors. We're getting towards autumn. But I'm too busy. So I just went through hell in my mind. I mean, that was just insane. And it wasn't just 50 seconds. It was an eternity. And what I just did connected to an entire series of events. Like this entire sequence. It's not entirely true. Okay. I'm trying to be at home and rest. But I feel other people. I feel an experience is trying to, I can feel how people try to get me to be somewhere from a distance. Now the question is, do I want to give into this? Do I have the time? Do I have the energy? Do I have the whatever? Well, that's what I have to decide. And you have to decide whether you can learn from me. Because if you just sit there and you feel like a twister, I'm just trying to confuse you. But I'm still lumping all kinds of important and valuable information onto you, which you may not understand at all. Right? Do you know this character? It's called Werner. Brösel. Werner. Maybe this exists in English. Give it a shot. It's awesome. I watched it as a child. I don't have access to it at the moment. Okay. I have an intense kind of lifestyle. Okay, you think my kitchen looks messy? Yeah. This is clean. This is clean. This is almost clean. I'm just eating chocolate bread spread with a spoon. It's clean. Right? I'm just going to show you. This is clean. All of this is clean. This is not clean. I cleaned all of this. You see? It's all clean. Sometimes I clean my teeth, right? this is almost clean. This I use to keep my window open. You know, I do it like this because this keeps it open, otherwise it's always going shut because of the air pushing through. Okay? What am I saying? I have certain ways. My life is what you know, if you want to put a pin on it, it's like DIY. I just went through hell in my mind. Okay. Do me a favor. Don't try to be me. Figure out what happens in yourself, because I'm riled up. And all I had to do for that is drink a coffee, get the energy to flow. And at one point, you know, I was listening to Chris Webby the whole time. The album 28 Wednesdays Later is now in its second run. And so I made all this art, right? I recorded it, whatever. I'm probably gonna call it, I just went through hell art session or artistic, you know, that, okay. I just went through hell art relief. Yeah, I could have had sex. I could have gone for a run. I could have done, 1,000 push-ups. Okay, I couldn't. But I could have if I wanted to, right? Because, if I wanted to, I could just go for a run every day. I could hiking every day. I could do all kinds of stuff. But I choose to seclude myself from the outside world so that I can be in here and channel whatever happens outside through myself. I don't know. I feel people, I see people from a distance. I can look into myself with my third eye. There's a certain way of looking. So I went through hell in my mind. It's not always my hell. But in a way it is, because if you pick up the suffering of other people, this is hell for me because I want to help. Do you get it? I want to help other people so much that even though I have an injured foot, I just want to run to a friend that is suffering and you're like, do you need help? But how would that help me at the moment? I would have to walk 2 kilometers to the park. And then I would be in the presence of others that are toxic and that would probably use me to make themselves feel better. Just give me a second. Hey, I'm almost there. Don't shit your pants. Okay. I just released the energy. Okay. I just released the energy that was piling up. I just released the energy that was piling up. It was too much. Sometimes, you can really hold on. So, to me, if I eat food that other people give me, or if I do anything at all, I become a channel for, I transform things. It's different if you just earn your own money, by just doing the work somebody tells you to do, and then, you get money for that, and then you buy food, and then you eat it. This has more to do with yourself. But my life has more to do with others. And this is what you have to understand. That what I'm doing, people say, I have a giant ego. People say I'm selfish. But they don't get it. I'm here for others. But I'm not here to help you in the way you think I should help you. Because I know better. And that's just the truth. Because what I learned is that, if you think I have to sit with you in the park, then you don't get it. Because I can be here in this apartment and I can channel some of your suffering, because why am I here? My name is Christopher. And then there's the Christophorus guy, right? He's the guy, that carries Christ on his shoulders. What does that mean? That, okay. He can carry a lot of weight. And that's basically what Christ means. Right? So, who's Christ? I would say every child is Christ. Right? Maybe like really pure beings. I mean, talking about, there's a movie with, right? There's a movie with Eddie Murphy. Something with the, searching for the golden child or something. In German it's called, I don't want to speak German no more. That's just the way I feel, right? So what I'm doing is, if I'm in my apartment, I still connect to the outside world. So I just went through hell in my mind. Some people live in hell. And I'm in heaven. And I share my heaven with the outside world. Now, I've piled up a lot of work. And I feel like I should somewhere get internet and upload it to Instagram. But I also feel like I can only do that once I feel better again. Because at the moment, it's just a little bit overwhelming. And I get it. It's nice when I'm around. Because, I suck up a lot of stuff. I go here, I empty myself into art. So if I go outside and I meet with people and I smoke with people, or I eat or drink with people, or I just spend time with people, or I touch people, I pick up stuff from them. And then I take all of this stuff and I carry it back here. And then I seclude myself and I make art and I create content and I talk about it. And what I had to learn is to disassociate myself with the feeling of, suffering. Because what you have to acknowledge is, or accept is, and that's the real truth about what I think spirituality is. It's about acknowledging that there are feelings and emotions and then to just let them go. It's like accept there are feelings and then let them go. Accept that you could do anything at any moment and then do what you feel like is the best choice for yourself in relation to others. Because if I would go now, you see, I'm not quite sure about this. Because right now I feel a bit weak and depleted. And before I felt riled up. And now I let the energy flow into the camera. And this tells you something. I'm using it to create a life for myself. To share how it feels like once you start to let go. Because if you start to let go, you have to flow into something. You have to flow into your family. You have to flow into your life. Now, I sorted out my life first, and I learned how to let go. And what you also have to let go of is the responsibility for the way others feel about themselves. If somebody feels shit about themselves, it's their problem. Right? And that's just the way it is. But if you become aware that there are people and you realize, wow, this person looks like almost suicidal, and you feel good about yourself, you can reach out to them, but only if you have methods to work with this stuff. And that's really hard. And nobody can really explain to you how to do that. But what my thing is, I never give up. Right? I get to the point where I say I'm going to give up. And that's just, sometimes I have to let go of what I'm doing. And then I'm going to go back to it. And then I can pick it up again and have a fresh start. Okay? So now at the moment, I'm just redefining myself. I'm setting boundaries. I'm saying, I need to help myself now because I just injured myself. I overexerted myself for the ideals of friendship. And that would get me killed, right? Right? You can, but I don't want that. I don't want to leave now. Because I still would like to know what it's like to have, my own family. Because I think I can do that. Because I can carry a lot of weight, I know that. But at the moment, I'm just sorting out certain people in my life that distinguish themselves from the rest by allowing me to overstretch the boundaries, and that sometimes showered me with a lot of honesty. So they also learn to set boundaries, and that's what I'm here for, right? I first learned to set boundaries with others. And then I started to overstretch boundaries with them so they could learn to set boundaries for me, which I want, so that they learn how to be themselves again, because what they learn with me, they can then apply to others without hurting anyone, because, I'm not overly sensitive. I mean, you can call me whatever. I know how to let go. So I just went through hell in my mind, which is why suffering generally happens in the mind. And the mind is like an engine or something. It's just something that, I don't know, does stuff. It is hard to explain. It's not all just in the mind, because it feels super real. If you go through the suffering, I was listening to that music and I was feeling someone that seems far away, but he's just standing right next to me. And then we go through this and we go through this and we go through this. And suddenly it's like, I'm right here. And suddenly I'm back to myself. So sometimes I don't know what's going to happen. I feel terrible. I think I have to drink a coffee. I drink that coffee. Suddenly I'm in a completely different place in myself. But I'm still here. But my energetic body is somewhere else, working with someone. And I had dreams about these things, right? I can work with people in dreams, which means my spirit can reach out to others. I can learn things while I think I'm sleeping, which is why the idea of awakening makes no real sense. Because when I look back at my life and I see what kind of choices I made, how I went to study environmental protection, I see that, well, what do I see? I did it for a reason. I mean, nobody told me to do it, I just did it. And it seemed like an odd choice, especially if you look like how my life is looking now. But it opened my eyes in certain ways. But, the reason I did this was I wanted to know something. And now I just feel like I need to recharge, but I also feel like I have to keep working on my laptop now. And I certainly recharge a lot through food, but also by connecting with people. Because if I'm with people, right, they also give me energy, but I also give them energy. So I feel like if I would go to the park today to meet with a friend, then, I feel actually bad. I feel like I don't want to go there. Which is probably a good idea because, that's where I'm not exactly sure. But I don't want to overpopulate myself with other people's ideas at the moment. I'm in a good flow at the moment. I mean, I'm recording this at the 23rd of September. And you're gonna get it sometime in April. I mean, I just finished March. Despite the injury, I just kept working and just finished March. And I just couldn't work in any other way. I just couldn't work in any other way. I just couldn't do it. But I can do this. And that's just how I take responsibility for myself, but also for others. They give me shit and I make art out of it. And I learn to turn it, because if you take up, let's say, the anger of another person, this can eat you up, and you could go around and you could go back home and you hear voices. I mean, I'm open about this. I tell you that I'm constantly hearing voices and I don't know where they come from. Could be myself, could be someone else. Sometimes I hear these weird things. Do this, do that, come here, go there, don't do this, blah, blah, Sometimes I even hear, it's almost like spirits talking about other people, that I care about. This person, just went there. But how should I know? I don't care. And that's what I keep saying. I don't care what you say to me. I don't give a crap where you want me to be. Because at the moment, I'm right here. And that's all that is for me at the moment. I am here, and you are where you are. And while I'm talking to you, I'm looking at, right? It's like sometimes I hear a voice and it says something like, keep looking at your phone, blah, blah, blah. And then it says, if you keep looking at your phone, then what? Then what? You see, it's like, I often get these if clauses in my mind, wherever they come from. What you have to do is let them go. Let them go. And it could just be all yourself. Whatever. I'm just looking at that image and I'm thinking how to rearrange the colors, and I think the pink should actually be red. And so I can take the hue saturation thing on GIMP, and now it says something about Google in my mind. Google just blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm constantly concerned that they're going to take down my channel. And the worst is that I have no idea how to check it. I can't check it at the moment. All I can do is have faith and trust. But that's the thing. They could delete it any second. Any second. And then it says, there are certain people in your life that feed you with trust. Because what you can consider is that if you know how to read other people's minds or hearts, that there are other people that may do the same with you. And I just try to keep them away from me. I don't like it. But sometimes it helps. So if I would have a bike today, I would probably go to the park. And that says it's probably better if you stay away from the park for some time. And that's true to a certain degree, because you don't know who's there and if there's people that feel angry, but at the same time, I just want to go there. Because just being inside is driving me insane. I mean, it's autumn and I love autumn and I just want to be outside. And autumn is always over so quickly and I'm just inside. And then the question, what's the relevance of being here? Well, I'm channeling energy into my content. And the more content I produce, the more energy is available, right? You could say this is like building up an empire, you know? And the more energy I put into content, the more likely it is that people will become aware of me as a creator. Now, what you have to understand is I'm recording this at the 23rd of September, which means that I have no idea what the status is going to be when you're going to see this, which is sometime in April 2024. And now we're in September 2023, right? I don't know, literally. It could be that by that time, my channel is deleted already. And I had to admit to myself that it's not working and I just started doing something else. It might also be that, you know, my channel just exploded and I have millions of followers and I'm traveling the world, visiting places and giving speeches. It might also be that I keep secluding myself from the world. I just focus on creating content and I'm together with, right, let's say my wife or a wife. And we're having a great time and maybe we travel together. Maybe she's even involved in creating content and we just figure it out for ourselves. It might also be that, you know, by that time it's just slowly picking up and maybe I have now 500 subscribers or followers and people just start following me more intently. You see, these things are unpredictable. I've been living like this for years now. For years now. I've been living like this for years now. For years. Started in 2021, I think. With my podcast, all kinds of stuff. In the beginning, I could still afford, you know, paying for my podcast 100 euros or $99 a year. But then I switched to acast.com. I think it's .com. And I'm still trying to get back to rss.com because I liked their service much better. But at the moment, it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. And maybe Acast is going to change and it's going to get better. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. I don't like it. Doesn't matter. I like using WAV files. And with Acast, I can only upload MP3s of a maximum of 150 megabyte, you know, and if you have a WAV file, you can have up to 600 megabytes, you know, if you have a 1 hour or 2 hour episode. That's just the way it is. So, to me, Acast is a bit of a nuisance. But maybe they're going to change. Who's to say? I get the point, right? If somebody listens to, you know, uses mobile data and listens to one of my episodes and then suddenly 600 megabyte are gone, you know, that's insane. It was just 80, you know, okay. Well, then I'm saying, you know, why don't you just download the episodes that you want to listen to through Wi-Fi and you don't have to waste your data. I mean, that's just management. You just have to think a little, right? Just plan ahead. I mean, then you just don't listen to it right now. Listen to it when you have access to Wi-Fi, and then you download it, and then you listen to it. No, you've got free Wi-Fi everywhere. I'm just saying. So I've been living like this for a while. Okay, that's like two and a half years now or something. Once I started creating content, and then more and more stuff came. I didn't know I was doing Instagram until I did it. I didn't know I was doing YouTube until I did it. I didn't know I was writing more books until I did it. I didn't know I was going to post on Medium until I did it. I didn't know I would have an action cam until I had one. You know, I didn't know I would not want to work for anyone ever again until it was there. You know, I didn't know I was gonna get myself into certain situations until I was in these situations. And sometimes I realized later that I may have seen it already, but I actually prefer to just do the images that I'm doing and then maybe see later that I actually predicted that already. You know, I have made certain predictions that I'm not sure if they will happen for me, or if I simply spoke about it because I thought, you know, I'm afraid it may happen, so I'm just going to put it out there. There are some stories in The Dignity of the Unvaccinated. Yeah, I know 40 euros seems like an insane price, but if you can work with what happened during these things, you know, I just didn't want to be silent. Because that's actually, you know, I was just picturing a reality that might occur. And I could see myself being a part in this. And it may still come about, but I have no idea. So what's a prediction and what's just letting go of stuff? You know, I don't know. I just know that things may happen. And I'm willing to do whatever it takes to just stand up for freedom. Freedom of speech, which is a basic right that nobody can deny us. And, right, it's just, I don't know. I think something needs to happen. Okay, let's just see where this is going.